Welcome to another edition of Up and In It. I'm your host, Adrian Babashoff, and if you're new here, welcome as well. And if you're wondering what the show is about, it's entirely dedicated to creating an alternative lifestyle design that improves quality of life for both people and for the planet, exploring alternatives to the daily grind, to liberation and independence, moving you from surviving to thriving and living life raw. Today's episode 116, parental discretion advised. This is a potty mouth podcast. This is unfuck yourself. Basically, it's what it's called. We got fuck yourself, which a lot of people like to say, but I like to take a stance and a look on how can we unfuck ourselves. We got a lot of fucking going on around there. So I believe I just said the F word probably like 5 times. I don't know if I've broken the bake limit on that, on the allowances on that, but that's the way it goes here, guys. We take things light, we joke. 50% of this is humor, and living life light, living it the way you want to, raw. So yeah, we need to unscrew ourselves, people. See? Look at censorship. Didn't use the F word. I want to talk today about a couple things that I found. One in particular that kind of triggered off today. And this is I want to do a couple of these, like a series of unfuck yourselves in situations of life. And the one that I've got here is Proposition 65, I guess it is, from the state of California. And what that brought out to me is I started just looking at labels of stuff. That's like, see if things are healthy, right? I mean, I don't like putting unhealthy things, foods, the way I cook my foods, our air purifier, everything just seems like in the state of California will cause cancer or birth defects. This is very important to me because if a lot of you guys know me, I do biodegradable container gardening. The whole reason for me to have searched and done so much work on something like this is I want to get the hell away from plastic. It doesn't improve quality of life. All right, it's not good for the planet. It's not good for you. It's not good for anybody. So we got to get out of here. But it just came down to I couldn't even water my fucking plants, like the nozzle. And the one thing I thought is that maybe it has lead in it or something. I don't know. So I started doing some research because it was like every single thing from wire fencing to whatever. Just even restaurants have it. So Proposition 65, this made me feel like I was fucked. And I wanted to get unfucked. So I started to do some research into it. And I think this is how you can unfuck yourself on a lot of things in life, is simply by educating yourself. So I started to educate myself on the matter, thought I'd share with you guys today. It was Jerry Brown, I guess. I can't remember what year, but it was actually a good thing. He wanted to make sure that we can test our waters and that they're not going to be very that toxic. We have to put a limit somewhere, people, is what he said. So I guess they did levels with chlorine. I didn't go, all I did is go partly down. I'm not going to make the show completely about Proposition 65. I just get enough to where my whistle gets wet and I get about 4 or 5 resources and they're all saying the same shit. And I go, well, okay, this is all I need to know is that this is blown out of proportion. And the reason why I didn't really follow it down the rabbit hole is that what's happening in California through Proposition 65 is that a bunch of lawyers, I guess it's not even mandated. It's just I forget why they would make people or have people post these things because I guess they can get a lawsuit if they don't because of the lawyers. It was really tricky, but the lawyers are making this money, right? Where they go in and if somebody gets cancer or something from a certain product, they can go in and attack the big time companies, right? And even if they can't prove that this company's product caused this person to get cancer, they have to have a settlement. And that settlement, I think, was anywhere from $10,000 to like $50,000 just to settle out of court. This is kind of fight. If any of you guys are in construction, working with my dad when I was a kid, we did a big old project. And there was plumbers involved, drywallers, roofer, us, all kinds of different people. Well, a lawsuit happened. And it was stuff that didn't even involve other contractors, right? Like roofers, like the flooring was starting to crack, things were starting to go wrong with the building. Well, they sued everybody, all the contractors, took them to court, and the judge looked and says, well, it's not the roofer's fault, definitely because of the floor, but you guys got to pay the $5,000, whatever, for the fees and all this stuff. And our insurance went up because we had a strike against us. So this is kind of the same dealio that these lawyers are upplaying Proposition 65, saying that every single little thing on the planet causes you cancer and birth defects. I thought it was a sneaky fucking move. Really pisses me off because it really, I was struggling a lot, I like to eat all organic foods for my children. And I want to feel, my conscience wants to be clear that I'm doing everything that I can to give my kids the best life they can, and for me as well, and for my planet. And knowing that these things are around, just that everything was labeled, I'm going, what the fuck are we doing as humans? You know? So it makes me feel at least a little better, and I hope that you guys feel a little better, that look, this thing's blown way out of proportion. The thing that I will take away before I move on to the next subject is that I'm kind of grateful that this did exist, because it made me fight, it made me think outside the box, get out of my comfort zone and search for things. What is out there, I asked myself, that I can use that isn't cancer? So I had to go through strenuous observations and testings and research, like what is out there? I got to read every single damn label. So it pushed me into a sense I'm appreciative for of that. I found a lot of things because of it, but it feels really good to know that not every single goddamn thing, maybe including the air we breathe, won't give you cancer and birth defects. Moving on. So atoms at the core are just light and energy. This is how does this relate to unfuck yourself? Well, in science, the scientists have gone down and tried to study an atom. They've broken it down. When they got to the center, they found what they presumably is nothing. You can look this up for yourself. All they found was light, as in like reflections of light, I guess, and energy. And what are atoms? Atoms make up everything in the entire. They make up your body. They're just atoms make up matter. So at the true core of everything, there is only light and energy. Then why are we making such a big fuss about a lot of things? This is the Twilight Zone-y shit. I told you guys I'm going to start introducing some of this stuff into the show, but let's just think about that for a second. So all of these things that we deem important can merely be energies or reflections of light. Meaning if we look at certain things from a different perspective, maybe we'll see things as ugly or beautiful or sad or happy. When it comes down to me, I just wanted to share that with you. I don't want to get too crazy and weird on you guys, but it seems like the depth of our perception is what our reaction, what our experience will be if everything comes from light and energy. Moving on before it gets weird in here. Weirder. Stop the need for support. Just stop it. Unfuck yourself. So there's a person that I spoke about in an episode 2 episodes ago or something, was very upset because they felt like they weren't being supported in their life. And guess what, people? None of us are pretty much supported. We can explain yourself to somebody and they'll interpret it in a complete different way. It's like very few of us actually really get each other. And if we can't really get each other, how could we support each other? And I'm not saying support's a bad thing. Just just no support, just tell everybody to screw off. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if you're absolutely relying on that and that makes you upset, just like the light and energy in the middle of the atom, how many people actually really feel and can go through what you're going through? Each one of us is a beautiful fucking unique snowflake, okay? We're not all part of the same flesh heap compost pile. But therefore I look, and you should be empowered. You should turn that around. I just see a lot of people, especially with this COVID thing, kind of really going down, man. Like people don't know themselves, I guess is where I'll go with this. And there's a lot of people from the social distancing, social isolation, and a lot of people are having lots of difficulties. And I guess I can understand. For me, I'm a weirdo. I'm always working, I'm always doing things, researching, reading, and losing myself to fascination and pretty much all kinds of different things. So I don't really have time to think about being lonely or socially isolated. I know it is nice to talk to people every once in a while, but even then, sometimes I look and I go, that's why I don't talk to a lot of people. Listen to what's coming out of its face. Like Clint Eastwood said in Gran Torino, I think it was, shut your face. I get all grumpy, man. I can't handle the majority of people. But yeah, unfuck yourself, guys. If you're addicted to that support and you feel like you're nothing without the support of other people, then you are in the eye of the behold, the eye in your mind. As I say on the show too, your soul's wallet. What's in your wallet? You ain't got nothing in there. You need to start working on that. And I just want to say a positive note on that is that when you live a somewhat solitary life, it doesn't mean it has to be forever, but you spend a lot of time alone to get to know yourself. I think this is perfect for everybody with this whole lockdown and everything here. This is the second week of August 2022, by the way. But if you spend that time with yourself and get to know who you really are, I think that beautiful things will come. It's not that scary, guys. It's not that bad. In fact, it's empowering, and you just kind of sort some stuff out. I recommend that everybody take a long, long break from everybody and everything. Spend some time in nature, or just spend some time with your eyes closed, exploring your own mind, who you are. You know, there's a lot of people who say, there's a joke, look busy, Jesus is coming, you know, the second coming. And it's just a joke, folks, don't get mad. My joke is, look busy, you might be coming. So it seems like everybody's, not everybody, but the majority of people are so busy always deferring the attention off of who they really are. That's why you get mean bullies. I explained this to my daughter. They'll talk shit about other people because they're only confirming their own insecurities. They're not well. They're not. They have to keep deferring everything so nobody puts attention on them and starts picking on them because they don't have self-confidence. They need support, right? So that's the word on that before I move on the next. Yeah, just guys, unfuck yourself. It's a beautiful world out there. You have many possibilities. I believe in you guys. As I tell my children, I believe in you, but you need to believe in you. And you need to spend that time by yourself and just really get the garden going of you. Feeling positive today, man. I think I'm planting seeds in my garden. So yeah, pardon the background noise. This is my mobile studio, my 1996 F350, 7.3 liter truck. Very loud. I'm very busy, and I need to get this podcast out. I was just feeling it today, like, dude, we got to get this out. I got to talk to my peeps, right? All right. Tiko up. Aesthetics versus functionality. This is a very big one with me. I'm calling it Tiko up. I've mentioned this before because Ticos come from Costa Rica. They're the little Indian people, and the majority of it's very poor, and they have junk piles of scrap metal and wood, and nuts and bolts, and all kinds of different stuff because they don't really have much there. So the word is that these Ticos get very inventive. Their homes and everything are made of just scraps and parts. Like, they don't throw anything away, but everything has a functionality. So it's like really like what people would say dirtbag stuff, like just poor, like, it looks like some weird invention, just the car door for a house door, shit like that, which I think is fucking cool. And I think I wanted to say about Tikoing up is when I'll say that throughout the lifespan of the show, means fuck the aesthetics of things. What about the functionality? For instance, right now I could spend thousands and thousands of dollars on my garden, but you know what's important? More important than my garden looking good, looking wonderful with bamboo and ferns and little glass fairies. I don't need fucking fairies. That's why I'm running around that place. But spending all that money, why don't I spend that money on time to do more experiments to find out what's going to grow, how is it going to grow, what can I manipulate, what can I not? Take time off work and use that money instead of making this thing a beautiful fucking art structure. Let's make it produce mass fucking quantities of fruit and vegetables and sustenance. And then if we have money left over later, then we'll go and make the thing look absolutely stunningly gorgeous. And I look at this in people's lives, and I really hope that this is what the COVID shit's going to bring out, is that a lot of people will start looking more on the functionality of things instead of how things look. Same with all of us people, I just said, with your dedication to having support and love and stuff from other people, like graciousness and stuff. Dude, maybe you're beautiful, but it's only going to last so fucking long. You need to get into the core of who you are. Be beautiful on the inside. Some of us are damned, I think. There's some people out there. I just off and off show with women. It's like, this should never have fucking happened. How the fuck does this happen? This person's beautiful on the inside and the outside. It's horrific, man. I might have got myself in trouble with that, but who gives a fuck? So yeah, Tiko up, guys. I hope this thing, that's going to help you. That's going to unfuck you to spending all of your time and energy and money and everything else, attention on how things look instead of what they can do for you. What's the ROI, as we say in business, the return on investment? Not much when something looks fucking good, right? You could buy a car, it looks like a Lamborghini, but if it only gets 50,000 miles before it shits out and dies, you ain't got nothing but a pile of rubble. Rubble looks pretty, but it ain't. How's that working for you now? Get it? Next. The dirt on gold. The story is in the Great Depression, which we could be hitting something could be happening on that scale now. Nobody knows. But the dirt was that people had gold, right? Again, the aesthetics of things, or the functionality. And we would go deep into that, which we probably should do a show. Note to self, let's do a show on the dirt on gold. So people came to the farmers with gold. They had all the money. They worked their asses off. They were well-to-do. They probably looked down at the Tiko farmers, were like, fuck you, look at you dirty dirtbag, bent over in the farm. You should get a life, man. You should learn to, you should have some respect for yourself. And some people have told me, like, look a little more presentable or something, you bearded beauty, So these people came and the farmer says, I have no need of that gold. I could put ketchup on it, salsa, whatever. It does not feed me. It does nothing for me. Sorry, you can take your gold maybe to the next guy. Maybe they'll give you something. So people were basically starving. And their gold did what for them? Zero, nothing. So I look at this analogy to unfuck yourself. Start growing some of your own food, or start doing something in your life. Start getting exercise and paying attention, because all the gold, all the money, and don't get me wrong, guys, I am not pooping on money one fucking bit. I think it is the biggest component to the existence of life on the planet and the physical reality that we know exists called life. It is the biggest, right there up there with oxygen. I mean, you can probably live without, but it'd be very, very difficult in our society. So I do not. I like money. I love money. I love what money can do for me and for the planet for all kinds of different reasons. But yes, go out there and start doing shit. Find the return on investment in yourself. What are the things like plants that when you plant a tomato, you get to eat that tomato, and off that one tomato, the return on investment is you've got about 100 seeds where you can plant thousands of more pounds of tomatoes. And it just keeps multiplying and multiplying. It's the bank of freedom, not the Bank of America, Bank of Wall Street, or whatever, or piling up gold. It's something that's free. It's like printing your own fucking money. Animals, same things. Your chickens will lay eggs, and out of one chicken you may get, I don't know how many hundreds of other chickens. So get it? Return on investment, the dirt on gold. Unfuck yourself. I like that ending. Okay. Next, my take on the eternal final collapse. We were just talking about depression and all this kind of crazy shit. This one's really getting to me. It's kind of hard to tell. You never fucking know. There's a lot of people saying that the economy is just going to collapse entirely. We're just going to be a food shortage. Everybody's fucking freaking out. I mean, everybody's attacking this from different angles, man. If you're out there looking for some crazy conspiracy theories or just shit that could happen, or that appears that they're showing what is happening, it's just a perspective though, it'll freak you out, man. There's a lot of stuff out there, and I think never before, like with social media and stuff, have we ever had so much of it. Used to be printed on paper, and now we're just bombarded with all kinds of different things. That theory, what is the craziest one? I just thumbed over, didn't even read it. That coronavirus came on an asteroid. It could. I'm not saying none of this stuff is going to happen. I'm just saying that, you know what, this has gone before. Let's rewind in history and see what things have happened. Okay, and how many times, like these scary religious people, some of them saying that, we all got to get our families together, the world is going to end, the second coming is coming, and there wasn't no second coming. The world didn't end, we're all still here. And how about the people that are just fucking loading themselves on fucking food, drinking and taking drugs, just fucking fuck it, man, live for today because tomorrow we die. I'm not going to do anything about anything. I've had a couple of those. I'm in my mid-40s, and guess what? We're still here. So even if the whole shit house goes down, why not do things that improves your life, that improves quality of life for you, whether times were good or bad, that does good for you, good for your planet. And if we ended up knocking out, and we've got a big judge in some place or something, they're looking at someone's life like a movie, would look and go, huh, look at Priscilla over there. She fought against, she lived minimalistic, she like recycled plastics and did everything she can. What a good person, I don't think we're going to put her in a fiery pit for eternity. Maybe we'll put her someplace else. We don't know where to put her. She's like that Adrian guy, we don't know what to do with him. He's kind of good, he's kind of bad, he's kind of weird, he's kind of nice. I just don't know what to do. I don't know where to put my finger on it. But yeah, you guys, we're still here, man. Don't just start just giving up and throwing stuff. I mean, and then let's look at this. Out of the Great Depression, It was horrific. There was people that starved to death from what I heard. It was very difficult for a lot of people. And it mind fucked a lot of people. My grandma was like a saver, man. She saved every little thing. I like to save things. You know, I don't like to waste. It's just a good thing for your money, for the planet and everything. But the point I want to make, we're still here, guys. The human beings always find a way through evolution of the self, the mind, the body, everything. And yes, shit may be coming here in 2020. But we need to do our best. We need to prepare ourselves to be the best person that we can. And if you're saying you want to help other people, you need to help yourself first, right? When the plane's going down, as they say, you don't just put the oxygen on your kid's mouth. You put it on yourself first, so you don't put the oxygen on your kid and then black out. You know, get the oxygen mask on you. You understand what I'm saying symbolically? Fix yourself, know yourself, unfuck yourself, so that you can help other people unfuck themselves. You got to be the living example. You have to get yourself in a position where you're safe and you're good and prepared, so that you can have the time and the capacity and maybe even the goods, some food to feed these hungry people if shit hits the fan. And if not, do it anyways and make some friends. See? Pivoting. Next, we're going to pivot, guys. Just what I just said with life, with this whole COVID thing and depression coming, all of these things. It's all over social media from people saying you got to learn to pivot. And what that means is when life throws you fucking a loop, you got to turn direction and maybe try something different. I want to speak of this because my entire life's pivoting. You know, those of you who don't know, I have a special needs kid. I'm a single dad. I own my own business. I'm starting like 2 other new businesses. I'm all over the fucking place. And there are hoops lit. There's not just hoops to jump through sometimes. There's hoops lit on fire. So I'm not complaining one bit. It would be nice that if things ran smooth. But what I want to say is that when I keep practicing pivoting, having to change up, okay, fuck, we got to drop this whole thing and do it completely different. I've done that so many fucking times that it's now expected. So when shit hits the fan, I look and I immediately look and go, okay, how are we going to change this? What do we got to do? I don't sit there and just go, fuck, it's done, we're finished. I look and I say, how can we keep this going? How can we make this profitable? How could we just keep the ball rolling instantaneously? Like when my daughter's we found she was special needs. The mother cried. She was like upset, like, oh my God. I don't think I shed a tear once. I just looked and said, well, it is what it is. What are we gonna do? Where do we go from here? I've got to make some preparations. I got to be strong, and I gotta get the ball rolling instantly. And I think this is very powerful to go unfuck yourself, is to learn these things so that you can get ahead in life. You can beat these things, these troubling times and stuff, and make a difference in your life. You've got to try, guys. You got to keep going. You got to be strong. You got to be in the next segment, which I'm going to say here, is a seeker. A seeker. I've mentioned this before in the last podcast. A seeker is someone who just keeps going and finding, keeps looking for shit that improves their life in everything, every aspects, in love, spirituality, everything, life. Just seekers just keep going and going. And you know what? You'll never find new shit. You'll never find what you like if you don't go out and seek. And I think that there's a lot of people who just want to sit in life and do nothing and get miserable of all the things I said. They want to fuck themselves. Well, guess what? If you're a person that doesn't want to unfuck yourself, consider being a seeker and going out there and probing into the possibilities of life and knowing that there's a lot of shit out there. You may need to pivot. You may need to do things different. You may need to not have support from other people because what you're doing looks a hell of a lot different. You may need to do all the things I spoke about today and keep seeking. And one day you may pop up out of the hole and find out that you have everything at your fingertips. Everything, all the possibilities that you need. You don't need no guru. You don't even need me. All I did was explain a certain concept, the mechanics of things, and gave you a key. Or I showed you a key. You already have your key. It's up to you to unlock the door and go out there and find what it is that you need, that you want, that you desire. It's all perspective. Guys, I am so fucking excited that I did this show today. I'm so glad to be here with you guys. And that's it. I got to get to gardening. If you guys want to check out what I'm doing, you can check it out on Instagram. It's BCB, as in boy, C as in cat, gardening guy. BC Gardening Guy on Instagram. And I've got a private group on Facebook called San Diego BC Gardening. That's what I've been focusing on. I've only been putting out one show a week because of the build and everything. I've been busting my ass. So I'm almost done with it. I'm hopefully going to get back to about 2 or 3 shows per week. But guys, I believe in you. Go out there and do your shit, man. So you guys can check out more stuff too on the Up and In It. It's on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple iTunes for now. We're going to have some extra stuff coming soon. But you guys, as I always say, go out there and have yourself a near-life experience. Don't lose your muchness. Carry on the fire. Human up. Live it, love it, own it, and own it.